Erik and Wade, throwing bets like haymakers. UFC fight night, no faking these heartbreakers. Punch stats, bankrols, and scorecards never fold. 8 off 21 sports talking bold like fist catching gold. Like Jet, Eric saying underdogs got swagger. Wade counter champs got a clan and jaw won't stagger. Money on the line, bets as sharp as a dagger. Hot cops bling, flashing lights, heavyweight bagger. 8 off 21, clash of minds. No surprise, Erik Wade in the ring, shouting nod, shooting high. Fight night dreams, cold cash gleam in their eyes. Betting broad, UFC calls on the podcast sky.
We have reached the part of the podcast where we talking some UFC Vegas 105, and who better to come on than Wade, better known as at Top Flight Wagers on social media. Wade, how are you doing today, my man?
I am doing good. Rocking out some MLB bets today. Glad to be back with you on here. It's been a couple of weeks, so hopefully family's been going well for you. And I'm ready to run these off for another couple of weeks. Got some pay-per-views coming up, so I'm excited.
Been a couple of weeks. I don't know if I told you about this, but I went 2 weeks, no sugar, no processed sugar, no dairy, no wheat, no alcohol, no caffeine. 2 weeks, I lost 20 pounds, went up to fucking Milwaukee for the first round of the NCAA tournament, saw the games up there, Lipscomb, Iowa State, Ole Miss, UNC, Kentucky, Troy, and Illinois, and whoever they played. I forget who they played the first round. Wasn't it Xavier?
Yeah.
And,
nice.
Ate way too much shit. And I felt like crap the next day, dude. I felt like utter crap the next day. And then the following week, I was on a little vacation, but we are back now. Excited to have you back. Not the best fight card, but we found some plays we like. We're each going to give out 3 plays for those listening or watching for the first time, and then build you a DFS lineup. So let's jump right into it. Your first bet, my friend.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the parlay here. I got this over on MGM at minus 128. You can probably still get that close to right now if you guys went over there. Playing a parlay of Lerone Murphy and Torres Finney. I really like both of them to get their hand raised this weekend. Murphy is undefeated, technical striker with excellent footwork, smart fight IQ, and he's facing a battle-worn-out Josh Emmett, who's 40 years old, and he's taken a lot of damage in recent fights. Outside of his insane KO over Bryce Mitchell, he's just not found a KO since July of 2019. He's been in a ton of decisions. And if Murphy can just manage the range and avoid Emmett's power shots, he should be able to outstrike him over 3 rounds. I understand that Emmett's very good. He's very lethal. I actually really like him, too. I'm a big fan of his. And if he can't get that big power shot, I do think it's gonna go to at least drag out to a decision. I've seen some people thinking Murphy might be able to knock him out here. I'm not sure I see that. And honestly, Murphy usually gets hit in his fights, so this could be a sweaty one. But I'm hoping he can pull away in the final rounds there and just win enough by damage. And then as far as Torres Finney, I don't usually like to take new UFC fighters, but honestly, he's just a powerful wrestler with explosive takedowns. He's got really good top control, and he's going up against Robert Valentine, who I actually really like. He's very difficult to fight as well. He's also making his UFC debut on short notice, and he has struggled against really strong grapplers, as we saw in his last fight. He lost to Ryan Loder, and he had an opportunity to submit him, and he couldn't get the job done. So I just think Finney's pressure, his physicality, I think that'll be the difference here. I think he'll be able to get him on the ground and keep him there for at least over 3 rounds, unless he finds a knockout finish. I can see Finney finishing this fight as well. So that would be my first play of the night.
My first play, and you know me, I got to start with the big one. Give me Sabatini here, plus 200. Elite grappling and submission skills. BBJ black belt, 3.97 takedowns per 15, 2.0 submission rate per fight. Chain wrestling, top control make him a constant threat. Strong track record, dominant first-round submission win over Jonathan Pierce. Bounced back strong after a tough loss to Diego Lopes. Submission wins over Almeida and Pierce show his good ground dominance. We looked at Barreto's weakness, aggressive striking style leaves him opening for takedowns, has shown defensive lapse in grappling. Overall aggression on the ground has led to reversals in past fights. Sabatini absorbs minimal damages, 1.5 4.7 strikes per minute. If he avoids the early fury from Barreto, he's going to be able to drag this into a grappling heavy fight. The smaller apex cage favors his control and positioning. I expect Sabatini to either get a hard-fought submission win, hard-fought decision, or be able to sneak in a submission. I'm getting it plus 200. Way too much value in that number to pass up. So I will take Sabatini plus 200 to start us off, my friend.
Very
Next,
nice.
and I was actually looking at this too.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Riz McKee here. People look at his record, and he's 0-4 in the UFC. That might keep them off this. But I just like the plus money dog here. I really don't think he should be plus money. The bookmakers keep making these newcomers coming into the UFC as favorites, and some of the undefeated prospects, they keep giving them as favorite numbers, and it's crazy because they're all losing. And I think it's going to happen again here. He's got Daniel Frenza, who is a UFC newcomer. And McKee's just faced tougher competition throughout his career. He enters the fight with a significant experience advantage, both in the UFC and in the regional scene. Like I said, McKee is 0-4 in the UFC career. Like I said, we've been fading these new guys, and I just think this is a good spot for that. While Frunze brings in a feisty striking style and finishing ability, he's largely untested at this level and may struggle with McKee's range, composure, and his technical striking. If McKee can stay disciplined and avoid getting drawn into a brawl early on, I do think he has the tools to outpoint Frunze over 3 rounds here, and he might be able to find even a stoppage on this guy. So I like the plus money here. If this was not plus money, I probably wouldn't take it. So I guess take that with what it's worth.
My next one, Falco. Did I say that right? Falcone.
I didn't even look into that fight much, so I'm not sure.
Give me plus 180. Strong grappling brace, high-level grappler with years of mat experience. He's going to initiate grappling exchanges naturally and aggressively. He's attempted 13 takedowns in his UFC debut. Henry recently submitted by Jourdain. That's a huge red flag. Pedro has strong finishing instincts once he gets control. And Henry's shown us in the past he can be pushed against the fence, tied up, which is going to lead in what Pedro's going to look to do with his control-heavy style. He's coming in facing Henry, who's we got to face at 37, getting up there in age, inconsistent performance over the last couple of years. And we need to remember that Pedro had 3 days notice, came in, made weight, had 7 minutes of control time and attempted 13 takeouts in his UFC debut. Now he's facing a fighter in Henry who can get taken to the ground. So I think this is a huge matchup advantage. And just think what we're going to be able to see from him now that he has a full camp to prepare, better conditioning, sharper game plan, going to be able to execute and provide pressure better than he did on short notice. Henry does land more volume, 7.66 strikes per minute, but Pedro's going to push forward with his striking, and he's going to use that to set up his takedowns, and his stand-up is very awkward, but functional and designed to close the distance. He has stayed active with grappling tournaments and regional boxing matches, constantly working to improve and round out his game. Henry also doesn't shy away from grappling either. So this is going to create more opportunity to get this to the mat where Pedro is more comfortable. His pace and his control, I think, you're just going to overwhelm Henry. Plus 180 is way too good of a price for me to pass up. Now, in our next bet, we have a head-to-head. What we are going to do is the loser of the bet has to DoorDash the winner a 6-pack of Miller Lite. That's going to be
I'll take it.
So, make your argument, my friend.
Yeah, I'm going to take the slight underdog right now. I know some books that's even, minus 110. There's a couple books that are still sitting around minus 105. So I'm going to take a stab here at Vanessa Demopoulos. I just like her over Alcantara here. Alcantara, she brings power and aggression. She's still raw, untested at the UFC level. Demopoulos has the edge and has the experience edge. She has a really slick ground game, and she has the kind of grit that can frustrate an over-aggressive opponent, which I do think Talita can be. Vanessa has really good footwork. She can bring in high volume striking. So I think her just winning over the judges with just her high volume output, even if she's not doing much damage, because she just doesn't have a lot of power. It's a lot of kind of pillow punching. But I do think over the course of 3 rounds, I do believe this is going the distance. I think she can just out-strike her. The judges will like that. And I do think that if she can weather any damage early, I think that she can drag this thing into deeper waters, and that second and third round will probably be for her for the taking. She also has 4 submission wins, so I wouldn't be shocked if she pulls out some submission win here. But her opponent's from Brazil, so I got to give her a little bit of credit. She's probably pretty good at stopping that. So I do think this is gonna be a good fight. We'll probably both be sweating up the edge of our seats, and could be a split. We'll probably not even. One of us is probably going to be angry at the end of this because they'll probably raise the hand of somebody who didn't look like they won. So, but I just overall, I think her experience gets it done here.
So I'm on the other side. I got it at -110 for Alan Carr. My big thing is Vanessa's takedown defense, only 27%. She's facing an elite grappler, struggles against opponents who can dictate ground exchanges. Alikar is a 3-time world champion in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Superior top control. Vanessa has a history of giving up dominant positionings, finishing upside. I think Alikar's submissions far more dangerous. When we look at Vanessa, she tends to win fights that she shouldn't, lose fights she should win. I really feel if this goes to the judges' scorecards, they're just going to look at the fighter that is in more control. And I think that's going to be Alikar. Neither fighter, in my eyes, is that good on their feet. I think Alikar's progression is going to be the main thing here with her pressure forward. Vanessa does have better cardio, but I think Alikar is going to be able to control the pace and made it a slow fight with the grappling exchanges. And I think Vanessa is willing to grapple, just plays right into what Alikar likes to do. This is going to turn into a ground battle, and I think Alikar has a clear upside to that. So I'm going to take Alikar here, -110. So we have a head-to-head here. Whoever loses is going to send that other person a nice little 6er of Miller Lite. But, dude, I'm not drinking for 30 days. So
I would say, sure you don't want me to send you a 6-pack of water?
So we'll have to wait a little bit for that. Doing that whole 30 thing, 4 days in, dude. 4 days. No,
I could buy you a pack of electrolyte mix, get you some Element.
5 days in. So, like, if Alikar wins, you'll have to wait for 3 weeks before you send it to me. All right, so we're pulling up the DraftKings here. Obviously, with DraftKings, we're looking for people that can win via KO, win via submission, get takedowns, and have some ground control. So with that being said, I mean, is there anyone you're just adamant you got to have?
Not really, man. This card's tricky. A lot of guys. I know you're on the Sabatini side. I like Brito in that. In that fight, I actually think the best bet is for it to not go the distance. I think the best bet would be Brito by KO early or Sabatini by double chance submission or decision. So that one's tricky to me. I wouldn't be shocked if it goes either way. I think Murphy's going to win. That's my most confident, and I do think it's going to go deep. So that
you think Murphy's going to win? Oh my God! What?
I don't mind GM3, but it's like I also think he's going to lose. But a lot of people that I respect are on GM3s, so I just don't know, man. If he doesn't get the submission, he's just not going to win a decision. So that one's tricky.
The one I want.
I like Finney, but I again, he could lose. He's a UFC newcomer, so it's not a lock.
I want. Where's Barbosa? Where's
Yeah, Barbosa. So Barbosa and the other chick are both going to win. The Luma, neither one of them are losing. Those are guaranteed W's.
But
but I don't know.
We can't afford all those. We just can't do it. So we got to.
Yeah.
If we're gonna pay, you like Murphy? Would you?
I'd rather have Barboza over the Luma because I think Barboza has upside to submit. I think that Luma fight might go the distance.
And I'm telling you, I'm putting him in. We're taking Sabatini. Is there like
he's gonna get knocked out first round, man? If he doesn't get knocked out first round, that'll be good. That'll be good.
He doesn't get knocked out.
I like McKee. I do think that experience matters in this fight.
I like Falco. We got 8,800 for our last one, dude.
I stayed off that Gruel fight.
So basically,
Lee and Ramos are both questionable. Yeah, you got this organized by price. I see.
So
did we score high with both Brito and Sabatini in the same boat?
No, we can only have one or the other.
Gotta find another fight. What's at the top? Cheaper people?
Yeah, just cheaper people. Here, I'll organize it like this.
Those people are gonna all lose. God, that Osborne, he sucks. I'm not sold on Lee. I'm like 50-50 on that. I can see it going both ways. I guess I would probably put Lee in there.
Lee or Alencar? Lee?
No, I think Lee's probably the better one. They're calling him. What are they calling him? They're calling him the Asian Khabib. So I think
which is like a shitty ass name. Like, why the hell would you do that to yourself, dude? You know what I mean? Like,
he is good. It's just his opponent's pretty. His opponent could cause him some problems. He's very small, hard to take down. I think that's safe. I don't know, that Alencar one's just. It's such an up in the air fight. Really don't know.
It could go either way. Like you said, at the end of the day, one of us is just going to be pissed off.
I think that's a really good slip, by the way. I actually think that slip might pay some money there.
And I mean, like, honestly, like what I've been doing, and every time we've done this, we have always won the 50-50 ones. So we're always making money on it. So
yeah, I mean, honestly, as long as Sabatini doesn't get knocked out early and they can go deep, even if he loses, I think he'll score a lot of points if it goes 3 rounds with control and some other stuff. So I think that's this might be one of my favorite ones we put together so far, even though it's a shitty card.
So hopefully we can keep it going. Wade, I'd like to thank you for taking time out of your day talking a little UFC. Why don't you tell everyone where they can find you on social media, my friend?
Yeah, just come check me out at Top Flight Wagers. I'm all over all social medias, most active over on X, and then I'm doing a YouTube baseball video every day, either by myself or I've got my buddy Mike coming on there twice a week. We've been on a nice roll in baseball so far, so come grab those freebies if you want. If you want to join my Discord, which is free, where Eric's giving out some picks as well, you can come join that. There's a link in my X description. Or if you go to YouTube, actually, you can see all my links to all my socials and Discord. And my VIP, come check us out. Code NEW will get you 50% off 1 month and get you a 3-day free trial. So come check us out.
Make sure you give my boy Wade a follow. We'll be back next week, and best of luck in your bets, my friend.
You too, buddy.